Dandadan almost set the screen on fire last year with its new dark, cool, edgy story, and fans really loved the series. Now, in just a few days, Dandadan Season 2 is about to be released, so you won't need to rewatch Season 1, because in this video, I'm going to explain Dandadan Season 1. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Let's not waste any time and dive right into the full recap of Dandadan Season 1. In the beginning, we see Momo getting into a fight with her boyfriend, which leads to their breakup. Then Momo saves a lonely student from being bullied. After class, they get into an argument about an occult magazine. That student actually believes in the existence of aliens, while Momo believes in the existence of supernatural creatures. Momo and the student challenge each other to prove their beliefs. Momo goes to an abandoned hospital to contact UFOs, while the student, whom Momo names Okarun, goes to an isolated temple to find a spirit. Suddenly, both their beliefs turn out to be true. A spirit named Turbo Granny possesses Okarun and curses him. Meanwhile, Momo gets kidnapped by aliens named Serpo, who claim they want to do a mating experiment with her. Turbo Granny, having possessed Okarun's body, enters the UFO using Momo's discarded mobile phone. On the other hand, Momo remembers her grandmother's words and unlocks her psychokinetic powers. Together, they beat up the aliens and crash the UFO. Okarun then tells Momo his real name, Ken Takakura, which surprises Momo because that's also the name of her favorite actor. They both go to Momo's grandmother's house to recover, where Momo helps Okarun control his curse. Suddenly, they're attacked by a monster that looks like a sumo wrestler and get trapped in the spirit realm of that property. At first, they think it's an evil spirit, but they soon realize it's actually the Flatwoods monster. Okarun forces Momo to release her powers that are holding him back so he can fight the aliens. This transforms Okarun into Turbo Granny mode, granting him Turbo Granny's powers. Even so, they can't do enough damage to the alien, and Okarun takes a serious beating. Momo lures the alien to the property's gate and takes the alien's punches herself, so the gate's boundaries break and they can escape. As soon as they exit, Momo grabs Okarun and places a talisman on the gate, which repels spirits. As a result, the alien burns, and they are freed from the realm. Just as they celebrate their victory, Momo faints from exhaustion. Without her powers, Turbo Granny's curse becomes uncontrollable and fully possesses Okarun. Momo's grandmother, Seiko, a spirit medium, returns home and easily defeats the possessed Okarun. When Momo regains consciousness, she anxiously asks Seiko what happened to Okarun. Seiko points to the shrine on the property, and Momo sees that Okarun is completely safe. Momo tells her grandmother about Okarun's situation and reveals that she now has the ability to use psychokinetic powers. Seiko explains everything about Turbo Granny, revealing that she has fused with a stronger location-bound crab spirit in the tunnel. Despite Seiko's warning, Momo is determined to help Okarun and fight the spirit.
Hey kid, she's totally in love with you. Congrats.
No! I was talking about Ken the actor! The actor!
Seiko tells Momo and Okarun that Turbo Granny's powers are weaker in the city outskirts. Sometime later, Turbo Granny suddenly appears and threatens Momo, saying they must fight her in the tunnel or she will use Okarun's curse to kill Seiko and others. With no other option, Seiko sends Momo and Okarun off with spirit protective clothing, and the two head to the tunnel to fight Turbo Granny. After entering the tunnel, Momo and Okarun make a plan to lure Turbo Granny to the outskirts so they can defeat her. But they soon get trapped inside the tunnel because of her. Then Granny takes back Okarun's curse powers. Remembering Seiko's advice, Momo challenges Turbo Granny to a race to distract her. After a tough battle, Momo and Okarun somehow manage to capture her, and Okarun regains his cursed powers. They try to run toward the outskirts, and the possessed corpses of the crab spirit and Turbo Granny start chasing them. They fail to escape. Despite Okarun trying to outrun them using his yokai form, Turbo Granny suddenly breaks free from Momo's grip. Momo outsmarts Turbo Granny and takes her onto a train that is much faster than her. The train is actually going from the city to the outskirts, and with Seiko's help, Momo and Okarun defeat Turbo Granny and immediately free Okarun from the curse. They return to the tunnel to pay their respects and discover that Turbo Granny originally stayed there to comfort the spirits of sexual assault victims and horribly dead girls.
Everyone in this family is crazy! What is it?
Later, Momo tells Okarun that she's excited to meet him the next day, which makes Okarun very happy. At school, when Momo and Okarun start bonding, a fight breaks out because Momo's friends think they're a couple because they saw them kissing. Okarun goes to the bathroom to relieve himself but discovers something strange there. He runs to Momo's classroom and asks to talk to her, but Momo sends him away. After classes, Okarun bumps into a student and apologizes. The student behaves overly friendly toward him, but later Momo overhears that the student was actually mocking Okarun. In anger, Momo uses her powers to throw a flower pot at the student. Okarun quickly reveals to Momo that after defeating Turbo Granny, his banana came back, but his balls disappeared, which shocks both of them, and they run to Seiko.
Now you know why I asked to see your junk. How in the hell did you not notice?
Seiko performs a ritual on Okarun, and Momo pulls out a spirit from him that possesses a nearby cat-like doll. It turns out this doll holds Turbo Granny's consciousness, who explains that she was the one who originally possessed Okarun. Even though Turbo Granny no longer possesses him, Okarun can still transform into his yokai form. Seiko explains this is because only Granny's spiritual powers remain in him. When confronted, the now powerless Turbo Granny reveals that she doesn't know where she dropped Okarun's balls. Turbo Granny explains that Okarun's balls have now turned into golden balls infused with spiritual aura, which attracts spirits. At school, the student who was mocking Okarun, Era Shiratori, reveals that she can see Momo's powers because she possesses a god-given golden ball, which is actually one of Okarun's balls. During the fight with Turbo Granny, it had dropped in front of her. Turbo Granny sees this and informs both of them that Era has awakened her spiritual powers and has a golden ball. Era confirms this to Momo and Okarun and asks to speak with Momo. Era then tries to exorcise Momo. Okarun and Turbo Granny run to help Momo, but Okarun says that Era has become someone's target. Just then, a pink-dressed spirit captures her and says that she is Era's mother. Okarun and Momo fight the spirit, but it completely swallows Okarun. Turbo Granny realizes that this figure is a spirit named Acrobatic Silky. When Ira calls the spirit a monster, Acrobatic Silky swallows her too, along with Momo. Suddenly, Acrobatic Silky starts burning because, following Granny's idea, Momo had used a lighter to burn Silky's hair. As a result, all three of them are freed. Momo and Okarun distract Acrobatic Silky so they can get enough time to defeat her, and they retrieve Okarun's ball from Era. But both of them realize that Ira is on the verge of dying because she was an ordinary human and couldn't handle the pressure of the spirit. Seeing this, Acrobatic Silky offers to transfer her entire aura into Era to save her. Momo connects their auras and sees Acrobatic Silky's past. It is revealed that she was a single mother who worked multiple jobs, including prostitution, to support her daughter and pay off debts. One day, loan sharks eventually break into her house, assault her, and kidnap her daughter. These events force the woman to commit suicide. Her spirit wanders for a while, and one day, young Era, who was dealing with her mother's loss, senses her and thinks she is her mother. Seeing this, the spirit assumes Era is her child and promises to protect her. Because of this, she becomes Acrobatic Silky. Era then recovers, and after seeing the truth, Momo starts crying, and Acrobatic Silky begins to disappear. After seeing her past, Era calls Acrobatic Silky Mom and comforts her. Era prays for her peace and promises that she'll never forget her. Even though Momo and Okarun saved her, Era still believes that Momo is a demon and plans to free Okarun from her control. Turbo Granny also reattaches Okarun's golden ball back to his body. Momo becomes uneasy when Okarun keeps ignoring her at school, and then she sees him with